Hi there. Welcome to Yoga with Sheila. I've got a nice little upbeat flow for you today, a moderately paced vinyasa. We're going to start with some breath work, so we'll start with some embodiment and breath work, a nice slow beginning and get warmed up, and then we'll move a little faster. Due to some tech differences today that I won't get into, I don't have music for this flow, so this will be without music. Some of you like that because it's a little easier, I think, to get into your into the focus on your breath and your body if you're not playing music. Sometimes music can be distracting to folks, so it makes the focus a little easier, I believe. However, if you like music, some of you enjoy having a playlist with your yoga flow, then just push pause and bring your favorite upbeat playlist into the room, and you can use that, or at least turn it on when we get to the standing portion in our sequence if you wish to use it. Thanks for being with me. I hope this video finds all of you doing well. If you'll take a relaxed position on your backs, I'm going to stay in an upright position now so that I can talk to you a little bit easier, and then I'll join you when we begin to stretch. But just go ahead and lie down on your backs, your eyes closed or a soft gaze. You can choose whether you want your feet to be on the mat, knees bent, or perhaps your legs outstretched with your toes splayed open, your heels a little closer. And take a moment just to get comfortable and bring yourself to the room mentally. Start to notice sounds within the room, sensations, just the feel of the mat below your skin, maybe the temperature in the room, depending on your setting, perhaps air, a breeze hitting you in the face if you're getting air from any direction. If there's anything uncomfortable, a wrinkle of clothing or anything that irritates you, take time to smooth that out and find a comfortable position, even if that means a little moving, wiggling around. Set aside distractions. Anything that's important will still be there as you finish your practice, so try to make your mat a sacred space of sorts, not letting anything else come onto the mat with you. Only thing that comes onto the mat are those things that you grant permission. So your body, your mind, just leave everything else aside. And then start to scan your body from head to toe. Notice any tightness, any tension. You might consciously release your jaw, relax your jaw. Smooth out that space across the collarbone. You may even walk your shoulders in under the back just a bit, taking your shoulders back and down away from your ears. Notice your belly. Sometimes we have a tendency to hold in our bellies unnecessarily, partly because we've been told likely all our lives, suck in your belly. But yoga says to take nice, full, deep breaths. Allow that belly to fully expand as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, just notice the movement in the torso. Notice any tightness, tension in arms, legs, hands, feet. You might even ball up the wrist tight, clench the fingers. Hands, your fist, not your wrist, but clench your fist. Even scrunch your toes, create some tension there, and then release. And then come back to your breath. Take nice, deep, full breaths. Don't feel that you have to change anything about your breathing. Just notice that rhythmic quality as you breathe in and breathe out. Begin to notice the pace of your breathing. Notice as you breathe in, your belly, ribs, chest expanding. And then as you breathe out, your chest, ribs, belly sinking. Let's take a few cleansing breaths together. I'll demonstrate. You're still there on your mat, eyes closed, just noticing your breath. As you breathe in again, take a nice deep inhale through the nose, but this time as you exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Good, and again, inhale through the nose, nice deep breath. As you exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Gently seal your lips. Start to bring a little movement to your body. You might wiggle your fingers, your toes, rotate your wrist, ankles if you like. I'm going to come onto my back and join you. We're going to start to stretch just a bit. As you exhale, pull your right knee into the chest. You can keep your left foot on the mat if you've got feet on the mat, or if you like, leave that left leg extended or take it extended if it's not. And perhaps pull that right knee over toward the right shoulder so as not to restrict your breathing. But just getting some compression there as you bring the knee toward the shoulder, some compression into the right hip. And then we're going to take the peace fingers, your second and third finger, just wrap them around your big toe. Let your left hand come to the floor beside you, just stretched along. We're going to start to straighten the right leg. You can use a strap for this, but I'm trying to go no props as much as possible, so that if you don't have props at home, you can do everything I'm doing. So you could use a strap here, but if not, your fingers work fine. You can leave as much bend in the knee as you need to. Straighten the leg as best you can. You're likely getting a really nice hamstring stretch just from straightening the leg, flexing the foot. If you need a little more, you can pull that foot toward the body, pull your leg a little closer to the chest, a little bit of bend in the elbow, not locking the elbow. And then when you're ready, we're going to let that splay open to the right just a bit, as much as you like, while keeping your bottom planted on the mat. Imagine having pants on and you're keeping your pockets on the mat. And then we're just going to pull that back into center. And on an exhale, just let that foot stray to the left. So again, think about your pants pockets. If I keep my pockets, my imaginary pockets on the mat, I can't take this foot very far to the left, but I am experiencing a great stretch in my hamstring. So you're not needing, if we keep the correct form there, we're not needing a lot of movement to get a fabulous stretch, which is what we're looking for. And exhale, bring that back to center. Let's bring your left foot to the mat. Cross that right ankle over the knee. Wrap the hands behind the left thigh and just gently pull that left thigh to the chest. You can use your elbow, your right elbow, to create some leverage and open up that right hip a bit more if you wish. Just using the exhale to bring that knee in toward your chest. Your left leg can be bent or straight, really your preference. You can get a little bit of a hamstring stretch by straightening the leg. I tend to like to just keep mine bent here. And as you're ready, let's bring that foot back to the ground. We're going to do the same thing the other way. So I'm going to straighten my right leg. You can leave that right foot on the mat if you choose. Bring the hands just below the left knee and start to pull that left knee to the chest, a little toward your left shoulder. Again, not obstructing your breathing at all. Just finding some compression there. And as you're ready, we're going to bring our peace fingers around that left big toe. You'll start to straighten the left leg. Your right hand can just rest out to the side body. Again, keep the left leg as bent as you need to do so, but straightening the leg as much as you can to maximize your stretch. Foot is flexed. Again, I'm thinking about keeping my pants pocket planted on the ground throughout the stretch. I can bring that a little closer to my body if I need more stretch. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to allow that leg, that hip to splay open just a bit. Keeping my pants pockets on the mat. And on an inhale, I'll bring it back to center. As I exhale, I'm just going to let that drift to the right side of the mat. So just like a while ago, if I keep my pockets, my imaginary pockets on the mat, I don't have to let that come very far before I'm getting a really, really good stretch in that left hamstring. All the stretch I want. And inhale, bring it back to center. I'm going to bring the right foot to the mat, knee bent. Cross the left foot over the right knee. Wrap your hands behind the right thigh and just start to pull that right thigh to the chest. Again, if you choose using your elbow, left elbow, to create some leverage there and help open that left hip while stretching things out. Right leg bent or straightened. And exhale, bring that foot back to the mat. Let's uncross the legs. I'm just going to windshield wiper my knees left and right for a moment. My arms are spread wide. Really any pace you like, whatever feels good here. And then whenever you're ready, there's no hurry, but as you even that out on both sides, we'll bring the knees back to center. I'm going to tuck the knees to my chest. Wrap my hands again around my shins. Maybe give myself a little rock here. Massage your lower back if you like. And whenever you're ready, come to seated. Maybe rocking front and back to get there, or you can just roll to your side and push up. And let's do a little upper body stretch. On the inhale, we're going to take the hands into the air, stretch up. As you exhale, take your right hand to ground and simply walk that hand, those fingers, to the right side of your mat. Again, keep your sits bones planted on the ground here. Common theme. If you like, you can peek up at your elbow. And as you inhale, let's bring it upright once again. Stretch up. Your exhale, take your left hand back. We're going to twist to the left. You're going to lengthen the spine on the inhale as if you're taking the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. And then twist, look over your left shoulder. 5 to 8 breaths here. Inhale, bring those hands upright. As you exhale, take your left hand to ground. I'm trying to model for you guys, so hopefully I said the correct hand a while ago for you. Regardless, take your opposite hand to the ground. Walk those fingertips as far to the side as you can while keeping your bottom planted. Peek up at that elbow if you choose. Your next inhale, bring hands into the air, stretch up, and this time you're twisting to the right. Grow nice and tall on your inhale. Lengthen that spine. Exhale, twist. 5 to 8 breaths. And your next inhale, bring those hands into the air, stretch up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a reverse tabletop. So feet about hip distance apart. Hands, my fingers are facing my body. I'm going to bring my hands about shoulder distance apart and slightly back behind my shoulders. On the inhale, press through the hands and the feet. Start to lift those hips into the air. So we're immediately engaging the glutes. Try to relax your glutes here as much as you can and create work in your thighs. So notice your glutes, try to relax glutes, create some work in your thighs. Your neck can extend from the spine, or you can let it drop back into the shoulder pocket if that's comfortable for you. Your inhale, give those hips one more lift, and then as you exhale, let's bring it back down to the mat. Inhale, we're going to stretch the hands up high to straighten both legs, your feet flex, and as you exhale, fold forward. Let's grab the peace fingers around the big toes once again, so bend your knees. And with a straight spine, let's see if we can keep our straight spine and slowly straighten our legs. That doesn't mean you have to straighten your legs completely, but see how close you can come to straightening your legs while keeping that spine straight. So I'm just going to take my chest toward my legs as best as I can while trying to keep a straight spine. And again, of course, you're getting a great hamstring stretch. Those hamstrings are going to be nice and warmed up. And exhale, release. We're going to flip it over to tabletop. And from your tabletop, a little bird dog here. Actually, let's take cat-cow first, Chakravakasana. So on your inhale, let's let the belly sink, chest open, gaze up. As you exhale, round your back, pull your belly button in toward your spine, lower chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly, chest open, chin up. Exhale, round the spine, drop your tailbone, bring your gaze toward your navel. So continue to move at your breath pace. You may have your toes just resting on the floor, the tops of your feet on the ground. You may have your toes to the mat, whatever feels best to you, whatever seems natural. And feel free to bring other movements to this. We're keeping our fingertips spread nice and wide. Hands are just below my shoulders. And again, feel free to incorporate some other movements. You can rotate the hips. Lots of different options here. I'm not going to go through all of those, but those of you that practice with me on a regular basis, some of you have your own things you like to do there, so feel free. Always a good time for some wrist therapy. You can flip the palms, counteract that position we take with our wrist lots of times during the practice when we're in plank, tabletop, down dog. Bring your fingertips either toward one another or toward your body. You can even bring them toward your body and then start to just sit back slowly. You'll feel the stretch there. By the way, this is your practice as always. I usually remind you guys of that in person. And remember that when we're practicing online too. Anything we do that doesn't feel like it's right for you, no obligation. You take a pose of your choosing, something that does feel right to you. Let's bring it back to a neutral spine when you're ready. A little bit of bird dog here. So on the inhale, take your right foot back. Press through the heel as if you're putting a footprint back there and extend your left hand forward. Let your neck extend naturally from the spine. Sometimes we take this in and out, bringing our knee toward our elbow as we exhale. We're just going to hold here this morning. Like I said, we're going to pick up the pace in a moment and have a more active standing sequence, just getting warmed up now. You can stay right there, or if you choose, swing your hand to the left, your foot to the right, keeping arm and leg as close to parallel to ground as you can. A real wake-up call for those abs. You guys are doing a fabulous job. Bring it in on the exhale, tabletop. Couple cat-cow here before we do the other side. And back to that neutral spine when you're ready. Again, shoulders are just above your wrist. This time extend your left foot back, press through the heel, extend through that heel. Reach the right hand forward, your neck naturally extending from the spine. So creating a nice line there from your right fingertips to your left heel. Make that line as long as you can. Really reach with the fingertips, extend through the heel. Option to stay there, or as you're ready, you're going to sweep that leg left, your arm right, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, as we often say. Breathe through it. Be aware of times you try to hold your breath in the practice. Make sure you breathe through everything. Bring it in on the exhale. That exhale felt good, didn't it? And a couple cat-cow. And then we're going to to stretch it out in puppy pose for a moment. So come back to your neutral spine when you're ready. Keep your hips planted just where they are. Take your forearms to the ground and then slowly continue to walk the hands forward as much as you like. You're letting your chest melt into the mat, your forehead rest on the mat. Three to 5 breaths here. So if you've had any shoulder injuries and this is too much stretch, just bring those hands back in. You can even sink back into child's pose if you like. Obviously, more stretch the further you take those hands. And on an exhale, let's fall into our first child's pose. I'm going to bring my big toes together, create a little more space between my knees. Nestle the hips back on the heels, and again, let my heart melt toward the mat. Bring my forehead to rest on the mat. Any arm position you choose here. Your hands can stay where they are. You can bring them prayer position above the head, or bring them behind the back, palms up, whatever feels good. Nice deep breaths. And your next inhale, let's slide forward to plank. I'm just doing a quick time check here to see if I'm keeping you guys on time. We are. Shoulders over the wrist, plank position. Fingertips are still spread nice and wide. I want a nice long line from my shoulders to my heels. Nice strong pose. As you exhale your first down dog, let's drive those hips up and back. Imagine a rope tied around your waist, perhaps pulling your hips to the top of the wall behind you. So leave some bend in the knees if you need some. You can always widen your stance as you come into down dog if that makes it more comfortable. If your heels don't come to ground, you're just looking to drive them toward the ground as you press your chest toward your thighs. Press through the hands as if you're pressing the earth away from your body. Couple sun salutations. On the inhale, let's take a peek forward. As you exhale, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky, reach up, big stretch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, take those hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. On the inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Flow to your vinyasa, so I'm going to lower into chaturanga on the exhale. Shoulders at or above the elbows as I lower. You can also drop knees to the ground as you're starting to lower. Inhale, press through the mat, up dog. Exhale, down dog. While you're hanging out in your down dog, I'm going to pull my mat back just a bit. I think maybe I'm chopping off the top of me a little bit, so we'll scoot back a little. Feel free in your down dog to walk it out, putting a bend in one knee and then the other, or stretching out your toes, swaying your hips left and right, whatever feels good. Let's take another sun salutation. Inhale, take a peek forward. Exhale, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky, reach up, stretch up. That's a little better. On the inhale, let's take a back bend here. A little arch in the back, reach up, bring your gaze to the fingertips. Couple breaths, don't hold your breath. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, once again, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, plant those hands, step back to plank, flow through your vinyasa. Again, you can drop the knees to the ground there if you like. Try to lower down slowly. Get some work out of that chaturanga. Lower down slowly. Inhale to up dog, exhale to down dog. Let's start our yoga flow. This is going to be fairly repetitive. You'll find us taking a short sequence and then slowly adding to it. So one of the things I like to use yoga for, challenge your mind. See if you can remember our sequence as we go through it and then start to predict where we're going as we add more to it. Inhale, take that right foot into the air. Find your hip opener heel here. Bring your heel towards your glute. As you inhale, take that foot high. Once again, exhale, sweep it forward. Inhale, high lunge. Bring those hands into the air. You can keep that back foot in the ball of the foot, or you can pivot and plant that back foot to give you a little stability if that's okay with your hips. A little bit of flow here. On the exhale, let's reach forward around the back, pulling that belly. As you inhale again, once again, reach high. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, stretch high. One more time. Exhale, forward. Inhale, high. Your next exhale, twist to the right. You can open arms wide, or if that's not comfortable, just bring arms to cactus. Inhale, sweep those hands high once again. Exhale, warrior two. Pivot and plant the back foot if you haven't already. So my front foot is straight, pointed to the top of the mat. My back foot is angled. Shoulders over hips here. Fairly soft shoulders, even though my arms are active. And on the exhale, let's let that right hand sink just inside the right ankle. Inhale, just stretch that left arm up and wide. You can even press your right elbow into the right knee just a bit. Exhale, take both hands to ground. Let's step back to plank. We're going to take a little detour, do some ab work here. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift that right foot into the air. As you exhale, bring it towards your right elbow. Just hover for a moment. Inhale, kick it high. Exhale, knee toward your nose. Just hover. Inhale, kick it high. Exhale, knee toward your left elbow. Inhale, kick that foot high, and exhale, down dog. Couple breaths in your down dog. Anything you need there, find some length, wrist to hips. Same thing on the left side. Inhale, take that left foot into the air. As you exhale, sweep it toward your left elbow. Inhale, back to the air. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back to the sky. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, back to the air. Exhale, down dog. Couple breaths here again in our down dog. Your next inhale, let's take that left foot into the air. On the exhale, find your hip opener. Bring your heel towards your glute. Just open that left hip. Inhale, kick that foot high. As you exhale, sweep it forward. Inhale, high lunge. Reach those hands up and high. Again, option to stay in the ball of the back foot or pivot and plant that back foot if that gives you some more stability. Exhale, let's reach forward, round forward. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, reach. Inhale, high lunge. One more time, your breath pace. Your next exhale, twist to the left. Again, option to open the arms or bring arms to cactus. Your next inhale, reach those hands high. Exhale, warrior two. Lower those arms to a T. Back foot angled about 45 degrees, front foot facing the front of the mat. Left knee just over the ankle. If you find it beyond, just widen your stance. Exhale, drop this left hand inside the left ankle. Stretch high and wide with that right hand. You can even press the left elbow into the left knee. Exhale, sweep both hands to the mat. Step back to plank, flow through your vinyasa. As you're ready, you can take a little break, drop to child's pose for a moment. I'm going to grab a sip of water. So grab yourself a sip of water, or just come to child's pose, take a little break, come back to your breath. We'll meet up in down dog. So let's take that same little flow. We're going to add a little bit to the end of it. On the inhale, let's take that right foot into the air. Exhale, sweep it forward. Inhale, hands high. Reach up, stretch up. Plant that back foot if you wish. Exhale, round forward, reach. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, pull that belly button into the spine, reach forward. Inhale, high lunge. One more time, your breath pace. Exhale, twist to the right. Your next inhale, bring those hands back to the sky. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, shoulders over hips. Our gaze over the front middle finger, fairly neutral spine. Your next exhale, drop that right hand inside the right ankle. Stretch high and wide with that left hand. You can even bring your left hand back an inch or so more to sort of spiral your chest open there. From here, on the inhale, let's rise to standing, straighten your front leg. I'm going to level off the arms once again. My palms are open. As I inhale, stretch toward the front of your mat. Exhale, let your right hand sink, your left hand rise, making our way to triangle pose. So I want to imagine doing this pose against a wall. The back of my head, my shoulder blades, my bottom planted against a wall. So notice I'm not bringing my hand all the way to the ground, because if I do, I've suddenly slumped in and my back body's no longer aligned. This right hand might just be floating here at your shin. Your next exhale, we're going to bring that left hand down as well, coming into pyramid pose. So my back foot is still angled. I usually have to bring in my stance here just a little bit. We're just stretching over this straightened or as close as straightened front leg as you can. Perhaps come to a flat back position, find some length in your spine. Option to stay there or fold into it a bit. Couple more breaths. Exhale, put a bend in the front leg. As you inhale, step back to plank. Little detour here. Exhale, down dog. We're just going to do some rocking back and forth. Inhale, come to plank. Rise up on your toes if you want to. You can almost round into it. Level off into a plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. One more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. And let's go through that same little flow on the other side. Inhale, left foot into the air. As you exhale, sweep it forward. Inhale, arms high, reach up, stretch up. Plant that back foot if you like. When you're ready on an exhale, reach forward, pull the belly button in toward the spine, round forward. Inhale, high lunge, reach up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, high lunge. One more time. Your next exhale, twist to the left, just a breath there. On the next inhale, take hands to the sky. Exhale, Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, shoulders over hips. Gaze over the front middle finger. Your next exhale, let the left hand sink just inside the ankle. Reach high and wide with that right hand. Again, maybe take it back an inch or so. Inhale, straighten the front leg, level off those arms once again. Your next inhale, reach as far forward as you can. When you can reach no further on the exhale, left hand sinks, right hand floats high, triangle Trikonasana pose. Your exhale, right hand comes down as well. Pyramid, single leg forward fold. Lots of names for this pose. Intense side stretch. Good hamstring stretch in the left leg. Hands anywhere you like in this pose, whatever feels good. If you've got blocks are a great option here. Exhale, put a bend in the front leg, bring those hands to the mat, step back to plank, flow through your vinyasa. We're going to go through that little flow one more time, adding some more to the end. We'll move a little faster this time. Take a break in child's pose for just a moment. Bring those big toes together. Nestle the hips back on the heels. Just take a moment to stretch it out. Come back to your breath. I'm going to give you 5 to 8 breaths there. Again, if you need a water break, as I do, feel free to grab that sip of water during that time. As you're ready, we're going to slide forward to plank once again. From your plank here, shoulders over wrists, let's take the right foot, just lift it from the ground and point the toe toward the back of your mat. Exhale, bring it back to plank. Inhale, do the same thing with the left foot. Lift the left foot, point the toe to the back of the mat, bring it back down. Your next exhale, down dog. Extend wrist to hips here. Try to grow as long as you can from your wrist to your hips. Think about spinning your biceps in toward your ears. Fingertips nice and wide. Inhale, right foot into the air. Exhale, sweep it forward. Inhale, high lunge, arms up. We're going to forego our flow for the sake of time there. Just enjoy this high lunge for a moment. Stretch, hands high. Maybe bring your gaze to your fingertips. Exhale as you're ready, twist to the right. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Pivot and plant that back foot, lower the arms. Your next exhale, drop the right hand inside the right ankle. Stretch from one palm to the other. Nice wide line across the chest. Your next inhale, rise to standing straight in the front leg. As you inhale, reach as far forward as you can. Exhale, Trikonasana. Let the right hand sink. Left hand floats high. Think about that back body alignment. Back of the head, shoulder blades, bottom lined up on the same plane. Inhale if you choose some core work here. Your next inhale, bring both hands around your ears, your arms rather around your ears, and exhale back to triangle pose. Your next exhale, pyramid. Drop both hands toward the ground. Even if you typically keep them somewhere else in pyramid, go ahead, take both hands low here. Take a couple breaths, get that stretch over your front leg. Front leg as straight as you can make it. Your back foot is angled about 45 degrees. And then on an inhale, we're going to walk the hands to the center of our mat. So my toes, knees are going to pivot as they need to do so. As I arrive here, I'm going to keep a flat back position and then start to bring your toes inward. And I usually have to widen my stance here. So I brought my toes in just a bit. Sort of a pigeon-toed position, if you will. Let's go ahead and let the head start to fall toward the mat. Head can hang. Bring your left hand just below your head. As you inhale, take your right hand high. A twist within our wide-legged forward fold. You can keep the left hand on the ground or bring it behind your right ankle. Or really anywhere behind that right leg. Exhale, take both hands back to the ground, just below the head. Line up the right hand below your head. As you inhale, take the left hand high. Option to stay there, or take the right hand anywhere to the outside of that left leg. The closer you come to the ankle, the bigger your stretch. And exhale, bring hands back to the ground. On the inhale, let's come back to a flat back position. We're going to walk our hands toward the back foot, toward the back of your mat. Let your knees, your toes follow. Back foot pointed, toes pointed to the back of the mat. My right foot is angled. Left foot pointed to the back of the mat. My right foot is angled about 45 degrees. On an inhale, put a bend in your left leg. Bring your left forearm to the thigh. In your next inhale, we're going to stretch that right arm up and over. Arch it up and over the head, coming into Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Stretching long from the right fingertips to the right heel. Little to no weight in this left arm, my left knee just above the ankle or behind. Lots of options in this pose. If you like to vary this pose and take another variation of it, feel free. On an exhale, release any bind you've created there. Just bring your hands to the ground for a moment. I'm going to pull that left foot in just a bit. I want my knee and toes to track the same direction in that left side. Coming into Skandasana or a side squat here. If you've got knee issues and this is just too much, you might hang out here with as much bend of the knees you can tolerate for a second. If you can come here with me, and you can hear my knees pop. If you can come here with me, you can even challenge your balance. Bring hands to heart center. We're going to rise and sweep it all the way to the other side of the mat. Again, if you've got any knee issues at all, just bring your hands to the mat, come up as you need to. If you want a challenge here and you don't have knee issues or ankle issues or anything, you can press through the mat. Try to keep the hands at heart center as you sweep to the other side of the mat, coming into a side squat here. Nice job. And pivot to the front of the mat. Square those hips up with the front of the mat. Drop your left knee, top of the left foot to the mat. I'm going to bring hands inside my right foot, so I'm crawling my right foot up to the mat a little more. An upright lizard here, shoulders are above the wrist, and then I'm going to wander those hands, let them stray over to the top left of your mat. Actually, mine are coming off the mat. Just get a good stretch, reaching those hands as forward and left as you can. Couple big breaths here. And then coming back to the upright position on the inhale. Shoulders over wrist. As you're ready, step back to plank. Flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet up in down dog and do the other side. Couple breaths. Anything you need, walk it out, stretch it out. As I like to tell my class, enjoy your down dog. In other words, don't rush through it. Do what you want there. Inhale, take that left foot into the air. Exhale, sweep it forward. Inhale, high lunge. Reach those hands high. Stretch up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Ground the back foot. Pivot and plant that back foot. Lower the arms. Fairly neutral spine. Exhale, let that left hand sink just inside the ankle. Right hand stretches wide. Option to take that right hand back a little further. Get openness across the chest. Your inhale, straighten your left leg, come to standing. My next inhale, I'm going to reach forward as far as I can. Exhale, triangle. Let the left hand sink. Right hand floats high. Think about that core activation. If you want some work here on an inhale, bring your biceps to either side of your ears and take it back to triangle. Exhale, both hands toward the ground, pyramid, single leg forward fold. Again, if you usually have hands somewhere else for this pose, keep them low. We're getting ready to move. Your inhale, we're going to walk the hands to the center of the mat, flat back position. Let your toes, your knees track with you. And then I'm going to bring my toes in toward one another for a moment. Sorry that my back is completely to you. Just sink into this. And same thing here. Line up that left hand below the head. Inhale, right hand to the sky. Option to stay there or take the left hand to the outside of that right leg. Sorry, getting my rights and lefts mixed up. Exhale, both hands back to ground. Right hand stays below the head. Inhale, left hand high. Option to stay there or take your right hand to the left ankle or anywhere you can down that left side of the leg. Exhale, both hands back to ground. Inhale, flat back. We're going to track those knees and toes so that my right foot is pointed toward the back of the mat. My left foot is angled. My right leg is straight at the moment. On the next inhale, I'm going to bend the right leg rather. Bring that right forearm to the thigh. And then on an inhale, arch the left hand up and over, side angle pose. Again, any variation, you can stay right here in the original pose. You've got strong grounding, pressing into the outside edge of your left foot, mostly the heel to the front. You can create a T with your left and right hand, letting the right hand drop, the left hand rise. Even creating a bind, letting those hands find one another in the pose. Think about where we're going from here. If you've got knee issues, you're going to stay more in the upright position. You can stay right here if you want. If you don't have any knee issues, go ahead and drop into that side squat. Feet aren't doing anything special. You're seeing my left foot pop off the ground. You can also keep it planted. That might help you find your balance here a little bit easier. Hands can stay at ground or you can challenge your balance. We're getting ready to sweep to the other side, so do what you need to. If you want to bring hands back to the ground, do so. If you don't have any knee issues, Press through that foot. Sweep to the other side of the mat. We're going to come right into a squat on the other side. Popping knees. As you're ready, pivot the hips to the front of the mat. Square up those hips. We'll drop the right knee, top of the right foot to the ground. Both hands inside the left foot. I'm going to crawl that left foot a little further forward. Shoulders over wrist. So I'm in an upright lizard. And then I'm just going to let those hands stray to the top right corner of my mat or even beyond. To get a good stretch through the back as you reach right and forward. Inhale, bring it back in. Upright position. As you're ready on an inhale, flip that back foot, step back to plank. Again, option to drop knees to the ground if you need to do so. Flow through your vinyasa, and we'll meet up in child's pose. Take your time, spend a little time in your down dog. Take some breaths there, do what feels good to you there. And then drop to child's pose when you're ready. Grab a sip of water. Coming out of my child's pose for a moment to grab my sip of water. When you're ready, let's come to tabletop. Shoulders above your wrist, neutral spine. Little thread the needle here on your inhale. Let's take that right hand high, reach up. As you exhale, we're going to thread the needle. Thread that right hand under the body. You're taking your right temple, your right shoulder to the ground. Depends on what you like here. If you're wanting more stretch across the back, take that left hand forward. You might try this even for a moment. If you don't have any shoulder issues, you can bring your hands onto your fingers onto your fingertips there. So if you're cupping the palm of your hand, you feel a lot of stretch then into the armpit and down that left side. And then if you're looking for something more relaxed, just bring that hand back in or even wrap it behind your back. 4 to 5 more breaths here, starting to wind it down. On your exhale, bring your left hand back to ground if it's not. Inhale, come back to tabletop. You can sweep that right hand to the sky, reach up once again, and exhale, tabletop. A little cat-cow, a couple cat-cow here before we do the other side. From a neutral spine once again. As you're ready on the inhale, left hand into the air, reach up. Exhale, thread the needle. Take your left shoulder, left temple to the ground. Same options with the hand. If you want a really good stretch, take that right hand forward. Come into the fingertips. Imagine having a coffee cup mug perhaps turned upside down as if you're gripping that mug with the hand. Cupping that palm. Again, a fabulous stretch through that left armpit. And if you like, bringing that back in to rest beside your head or even wrapping it behind the back. Exhale, bring that hand back to ground if it's not. Inhale, tabletop, take your left hand high and back to tabletop. And let's come to seated. Let's take one last twist here. I'm so glad you guys have joined me. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's bring our right foot to ground. We're going to extend your left foot. I'm doing the same thing as you this time, so on your screen I probably look backwards from what I'm saying, but just go by what I say. Your right foot's on the ground, left leg extended. Right foot can rest inside your thigh. You can cross it over. The key here is you want to keep a nice tall spine. So at any point, if you do something and it causes you to round in, if it compromises your nice tall spine, then go back to the previous position. So if you're still okay here, you can also take that extended leg, wrap it in. Again, if that compromises being able to sit up nice and straight, just extend that left leg once again. From here on the inhale, we're going to take the right hand into the air, reach up, and then as you exhale, you're going to plant it just behind the spine. I'm going to let my left arm just wrap around my right knee. Lengthen on the inhale, grow a little taller. Exhale, twist, just like the beginning of our practice. 5 to 8 breaths here. Notice your right thigh, your glute, that whole area. Try to relax. This is one of those poses where you're probably trying to clench and hang on in that area. Just try to relax there. And exhale, slowly unwind. I've got some dogs making noise just outside the door if you hear something. Left foot is on the ground. Right leg is extended, same options. We can keep this left foot inside the thigh to the outside, or even wrap that extended leg in. Looking for a nice, tall, upright spine. Inhale, left hand to the sky. As you exhale, plant it just behind your back. Right hand wraps around the knee. And on the inhale, create a little space between your vertebrae. Exhale, look over that left shoulder. You can just take your eyes as far as your chin goes. You don't have to bring your gaze past where your chin comes in your twist. And on the exhale, slowly release. We're going to work our way to a lying position. Let's create one last little bit of core work here. Boat pose. So we're finding a tripod on which to balance my 2 sits bones, my tailbone. So I'm going to lean back just a bit to find that spot. Chest is nice and wide, shoulder blades drawn together slightly. I'm going to bring the arms into the air, and let's just go ahead and lift the feet into the air here as well, a modified boat. You can come into a full boat and extend your legs straight. It's hard for me to talk when I do this, but you can extend the legs straight and keep them there if you want. You can tap it out and bring one foot to the ground and then the other if you like, or you can just hold in that modified boat. Just a little bit of core work. And then maybe on your next exhale, just slowly bring those feet to ground with control. If you don't have any issues with your lower back, we're going to lower very slowly as if we're sitting one vertebra at a time on the mat. If you've got any back problems, just roll to your side and lie down on your backs. But if you can here, you're going to take it really slow. The slower you go, the more work for the core. I can feel my core shaking, as if you're just laying one vertebra at a time on the mat. Very slowly. Nice job. And as you arrive there, let's put a bend in the knees. Bring those arms wide. Let's lift the knees into the air, shins parallel to ground. Take a moment there before you go anywhere with your knees in the air. Just rock in the lower body. A little back massage once again, if you will. And as you're ready, you can bring that to stillness. On the exhale, you're going to slowly lower the legs to the right side of the mat. Your gaze here can stay to the ceiling or come to your left hand. You can close your eyes at this point or just keep a soft gaze. Start to relax your body. You might visualize your breath as a pleasant color, a soothing color. And as you inhale, imagine that color filling the space all along the left side of the body, all the way from your left armpit, down the left side, into the hip, down the thigh, the knee, even down the left leg, into the foot, the toes. And on your next inhale, we're going to bring the knees back to center. Your gaze to center. As you exhale, gently let the knees drop to the left side of the mat. You'll bring your gaze to the right hand if you choose. And again here, picture your breath as a soothing color. See it filling that space along the right side of the body, all the way from the armpit, down the right side, into the hip, the thigh, the knee. Extending all the way from your toes to your right fingertips. That breath bringing you what you need for your day. Or if you're watching this at night and winding down, bringing you a sense of peace and calm. Inhale, let's bring the knees back to center, your gaze to center, and as you exhale, tuck the hands around the shins, whatever you need here. Maybe a side-to-side rock. Some of you like happy baby, putting a bend in the knees, bringing the hands to the outside edges of the feet and just allowing your hips to splay open. You can rock in that position also. Modified happy baby, bringing the heels closer, your hands at your ankles. So anything that feels good. I'm going to come back to an upright position so I can appropriately say goodbye to you guys. But if you have the time, I'd encourage you to just stay right there on your backs in a resting position and relax. If you can take a moment and find Shavasana with me, please do so, and I will walk you through a little relaxation there in Shavasana. We still have time. From your lying position on your back, smooth out that space between the eyebrows. Just relax the muscles of the face. You might even scrunch up your face and then relax your facial muscles. Release your jaw. Allow some space between your upper and lower teeth. Relax the chest. Once again, you might walk the shoulders in under the back. Allow your heart to rise a little higher. Soften your belly. Think about the way a baby breathes. It doesn't have any awareness of what its belly looks like. It's not trying to hold in its belly, to suck in its belly. The baby breathes, that belly fills with air, fully expanding, using all that space. And then as you exhale, simply notice the movement, just as we did in the beginning of the practice. Nice deep breaths. Release your thighs. Soften your arms, legs, hands, feet. Release any tension there. Let them be weightless. Feel the strong earth below your body and just allow your whole body to rely on that support, knowing that you're strong and grounded there. I'd encourage you to stay right there in your Shavasana for as long as you can. Again, I thank you for practicing with me today. Thanks for joining in. It's always an honor, seriously, to be part of your practice. I appreciate the opportunity to be part of what you're doing at home and encourage you to keep it up. I like to think of yoga as a tool for healthy living. You'll find different kinds of downloads. Let it be what you need on different days. Sometimes it's more of a workout, sometimes it's restorative. Hopefully you'll find some practices as I attempted to make this one that can be both restorative and a little bit of work and fun at the same time. So use yoga as you need to give you what you need each day. Thanks for being with me. The light and love in me humbly acknowledges the light and love in each of you guys. Namaste.